Hi, my name is Babette. Welcome to Lesson 6 of Babette's Guide to Rhythm. In this lesson, we're going to continue work with the eighth notes. In particular, we are going to look more at the single eighth note and the single eighth note rest. In the last lesson, we looked more at two eighth notes, which are joined together by a beam, or four eighth notes, which were also joined together by a beam. Now, if we were going to replace these two eighth notes with a rest, what type of rest would that be? Well, we know that two eighth notes equal one quarter note. So these two eighth notes would be replaced by a quarter note rest. Okay, but now we're going to look at a single eighth note, which is the head, the stem, and the flag or the tail. And to replace that single eighth note, we have a rest that looks something like that. In these exercises, we're going to look at the single eighth note rest and the single eighth note and the quarter note rest for replacing eighth notes. One other thing, we're going to do this lesson and the next lesson a little differently. In this lesson, all the exercises will be subdivided, and we'll do the exercise first with just one note like we have in the past, and then follow it with this same exercise with the notes. In lesson 7, it will be the same exercises, but it will not be subdivided. Okay? So I think we're ready to begin now. This first exercise, you will just be playing a single note, just so you can get the rhythm. And you will see that there's a quarter note to replace the eighth notes. Remember to count off 8 beats when the metronome starts. Now take a deep breath and begin. Now we are going to repeat that rhythm pattern, but this time we're going to be changing the notes. Remember to count off 8 beats when the metronome starts. Now it's time to take a deep breath and begin. We're going to repeat these two exercises, but now we're increasing the tempo to a metronome marking of 92. Remember to count off your 8 beats, take a deep breath, and begin. We're going to be repeating with the metronome marking of 92, and this time we're going to be changing the notes. Don't forget to count off your 8 beats when you hear the metronome start. It's time to take a deep breath and begin. We now move up to a metronome marking of 120. Remember your 8 beats at the beginning. It's time to take a deep breath and begin. Once again, we are at the metronome marking of 120. We will be changing notes this time. Don't forget to count off 8 beats. Take a deep breath and begin. We are now beginning exercise 2 with a metronome marking of 60. In this exercise, we are introducing the single 8th note rest. There should be no sound in that rest, just like there's no sound in a quarter note rest. Remember to count off your 8 beats. It's now time to take a deep breath and begin. Again at a metronome marking of 60. This time we will be changing notes. Count off your 8 beats. Take a deep breath and begin. We are now going at a metronome marking of 92. This is subdivided. Exercise 2. Count off your 8 beats when you hear the metronome. Now let's take a deep breath and begin. Again at a metronome marking of 92. This time we're changing the notes. Count off your 8 beats. Let's take a deep breath and begin. We're now going to do exercise 2 at a metronome marking of 120. Don't forget to count off the 8 beats when the metronome begins. It's time now for a deep breath and begin. Now again at a metronome marking of 120, We'll be changing notes this time. Remember your 8 beats to count off. It's time now for a deep breath and begin. We'll start exercise 3 at a metronome marking of 60. In this exercise, you're going to find 2 single 8th note rests. Now don't forget to count off your 8 beats when you hear the metronome start. It's time to take a deep breath and begin. This time we'll be changing notes with the metronome marking of 60. Remember to count off your 8 beats. Take a deep breath and begin. Now we're bumping up the tempo to a metronome marking of 92. These are the playing notes. Remember to count off 8 beats. Take a deep breath and begin. Again, at the metronome marking of 92, we'll be changing notes. Don't forget to count off your 8 beats. Take a deep breath and begin. And now we'll do exercise 3 at a metronome marking of 120. Remember your 8 beats. Take a deep breath and begin. And now for the last one in exercise 3. We are still at a metronome marking of 120, and we are changing notes. Remember to count off your 8 beats when the metronome starts. It's time for a deep breath and begin. Thank you for watching this lesson. I really appreciate that you watched it all the way to the end. I'm looking forward to seeing you next time, and until then, bye-bye.